hypothetical world, Memphis makes the cut, Memphis makes it in. I feel like some people may have too big of thoughts on it, on like, okay, this is insane, and some people may think too low of like, it's not that big of a deal. What, like, in your opinion, what does it mean for the program, for the university if they get in?
You raise the heights where your program can go. Obviously, we're not talking about autonomy in a football sense anymore. But I mean, from a week-to-week basis, who you're playing gets respected more on a national scale when it comes to championships and everything else. Like we talk about all the time. I'll get to that. We talk about all the time the AAC. When you get into the AAC schedule in basketball, it's like you can't build your resume. You're in the Big 12 every week. You could be 17-15 and still have a chance to be in an at large. But yeah, what you were doing, do it again. Money, that's what it is, man.
Yep.
Go look at the damn contract numbers. It's around $30 million per school.
Yeah.
Right now in the AAC, they're not making that from a TV revenue perspective. And the Big 12, having gotten done their TV contracts and sort of divvied that stuff out, and now they know sort of where they're going to be without Texas and OU to a certain extent, having added the 4 schools, like they're relatively stable.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's stable in college athletics, but the Big 12's done a good job of trying to recoup after Texas and OU. You make more money. Also, I think when we talk about getting down to FedEx Forum, getting to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, every single week you're bringing out more people, which means more revenue generated at bars in the area, more revenue generated at the ticket sales, more revenue generated in concessions, more revenue generated in total.
It's a total. It's an economy.
Everything. Yeah. It just helps. And I've seen some ridiculous tweets out there about, oh, well, it'll be the AAC plus when Memphis gets there. I don't give a damn. Are you making more money?
Yeah.
Then shut up.
Yeah,
butt out of the conversation then.
So Kenny
if you're making more money, it makes more sense.
Kenny called me on Friday while this was all happening on your show, and we were talking about just from the fan base side of it, from like what it looks like optically, like just I hate to even do this to fans because I've already said, I don't feel like it's going to happen, but like it is a cool thing to think about. The prospect of it happening is super, super cool. From the football side, think about, you said this a few weeks ago, like think about what has happened in the past when Power 5 schools have come to Memphis. The stadium has been packed. It's been the kind of environment that diehard football fans sit there and they go, why is it not like this every week? So imagine when Oklahoma State and Baylor, Iowa State, some of these top teams in the Big 12 come in. I mean, the attendance, I don't know what the attendance number was for this year. I think it was maybe around 31, 32. You're going to look at average attendance every year upwards of 40, I would imagine.
Hell
easily.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and I keep using this example because I think it's perfect. 2013, 4-8 team, year one, under Justin Fuente. I'm a redshirt that year, played Duke at home. 45,000 to go watch a 4-8 team play Duke at home.
Yeah,
it's Duke,
right?
Duke. They weren't good, and they're not historically good,
right?
So there was no reason for there to be 45 grand, but there is, and that's the thing that I always try to let people know. Like, let's just compare it to the teams that have gone to the Big 12. BYU will leave out because their fan base is rabid.
Yeah.
Like they really love BYU. But Cincinnati and UCF and Houston, I feel as if the University of Memphis has probably just about as much pull in Memphis that Cincinnati does in Cincinnati. I think they outdo UCF because, like, in Orlando, do people really latch on to UCF? UCF football, UCF basketball. No. In Houston, do they really latch on with all those pro sports? Houston basketball, Houston football? Hell no.
No.
Hell no. I think here in Memphis, the fan base really does rally around the university a lot more. And I don't know why people can't see that. Power 5 commissioners and presidents and everything else can't quite see the vision there.
Yeah.
You're in a yes, it's a SEC footprint. It's a melting pot of Arkansas, Alabama, Ole Miss, Tennessee. But at the same time, University of Memphis has a following a lot better than 99.9% of Group of 5 schools, and it's a major metropolitan market. Yeah. It's ripe for the taking. There's a hunger for it, and I don't know why people are always in the business of skipping past that conversation.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, what the numbers that were pulled for Duke and for Ole Miss and Mississippi State, teams that at the time I don't think were top 25-ish programs. Duke, obviously, I don't think they were that year. But even Ole Miss, I don't think was great that year that they came in. Maybe when you were playing they were, but after your career when they came in.
And I know it was a big game, and it was college game day game, but it's 60,000 deep for SMU.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you think about Baylor.
When it matters, it matters.
Baylor, Oklahoma
people will
State,
show up.
Perennial top 25 teams, especially over the past few years. They've both been top 10 teams over the past several years. So teams like that coming in, and then on the basketball side of it, it already does well.
Yeah.
But you think about Kansas coming once a year to play Memphis, like that's insane.
No,
that's gonna
every single team.
Yeah.
Iowa State comes in. They've been a top 25 team the past couple of years.
Oklahoma State,
Baylor. Every team in the Big 12 for basketball. That's like the least of my worries.
Right.
They're filling out FedEx Forum every damn
Texas Tech,
conference
Baylor.
game.
Yeah, all these. Yes, the conference schedule basketball is like you'll walk in there every single game and be like, it doesn't look like there's an empty seat in the house.
Yeah. And
so I think the gap that it changes in basketball, I think it's big, obviously, because of TV contracts, and I think you do have more butts and seats overall. Clearly, because conference play over the last couple of years has been so-so. So, yes, you do bring a little bit up, a good bit up, but I think the gap that we see bridged in football if Memphis goes to a Power 5 conference,
I think it's huge.
It's absurd.
It's massive.
It's absurd. And and then I think at that point in time, we finally see the potential of Memphis as a football town because it's never really been there before. Maybe a couple years with Norvell, a couple years with Fuente, but we've never seen Memphis as a true – like this city cares about football, no doubt. No doubt. Like we still see games where it's like 24, 25,000 and stuff like this. If Memphis becomes a Power 5 school, recruits at that level, gets the money influx that those schools
kids
has.
in Memphis.
Yes, I don't think we're questioning what does football mean to Memphis anymore. I think it becomes very obvious that there was a yearning for it, and then here it is. Now we
get to
see
keep
the
recruits
of
in Memphis,
yes,
man.
Absolutely.
Instead of them going down the road to Ole Miss all the
to
damn
a Power
time.
5 school,
right?
Yeah.
To a Power 5. Well, maybe still lose them to Ole Miss and Tennessee, but like you get my point.
Yeah,
but like they get that Power 5 mark, even though it may not be Power 5 coming up soon. You're just playing in a good conference against good competition all the time, and that's what some of these recruits want. And here's the frustrating part, and I guess if I go way back to like the early 2000s and the lack of investment in football and the full investment in basketball, I could blame administration a little bit for where we're at in regards to just sort of the power dynamics and why they're not in a Power 5. Because I think you could have started the train on football earlier, and that would have made you more attractive throughout the entire process. Right. But I can't blame the administration at all. They're doing that. They're making the efforts they're doing just about everything they can
to make Memphis an attractive
to try to make Memphis a Power 5 ready school.
Yeah.
They're advancing, and the city has gotten money. Like they're advancing the stadium projects. They're trying to get some NIL money rolling through the program little by little, although I still think they could be better at that. But there's been an effort constantly to make these athletic programs on par with Power 5. And it's frustrating when you make all that effort and you still feel like you're on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I agree with that.